Hello everyone, this is Just a Dad. So in today's video, I'm going to show you the #1 thing I would do to my Mova P10 Pro robot vacuum cleaner. We're going to add a water replenishing kit, and it's also going to empty out the dirty water. I purchased this kit off of Amazon. I can't pronounce the name. It retails for $300. I'm going to show you how to install it. Now, I've already installed this kit on an X40, and it's been installed for over a year, and it's working great. I will put links to everything that I'm using in the show description notes, but you do need a drain line and you need a water supply line. So I already have all that installed. Again, I'll put links to the fittings that I'm using, but this is where there was an old sink here. But if you have an existing sink, you can tap onto an existing sink and an existing water supply line. And you're going to need a plug-in for power. The kit comes with really good instructions. It comes with this, these are some pointers that if your module is not working right, that will help. This is the water flow valve that you plug into the back. It turns it on and off. There's a check valve. I drew on it just to make sure you know exactly which direction it goes. Some fittings. This is that PVC tubing. This is the drain line. And then this is the water supply line. We got some elbows. These little blue fittings go in to here to help keep everything installed. We do get a water valve. The fittings can get real tricky in this area. First thing it says to do is turn your robot off. And unplug the base unit. It won't recognize it if you leave the base unit plugged in. We're going to be dealing with this area right here. The line, we're going to take this off. It plugs in right here. Make sure you leave it on. But we're never going to have to fill the clean water tank and the dirty water tank. It takes the place of that. Now, it says don't remove, but we're going to remove this little sticker right here. There's a USB-C plug-in right there. We're going to be plugging this into it. So let's take a look. This is the module. It's got here is the dirty water filter. You'll have to clean this once in a while. Here's the hookups. Your dirty water, your sewer line's going to come in here, and your supply line's going to come in here, and you're going to connect them right here. This basically is going to cover these ports right here. So make sure your washers are okay, but we're going to put that in and it's going to cover that. But we got to take this back part off. So there's just a #1 or #2. This is a #2 Phillips screwdriver, but it's taking the screws out. Now you're going to set this in here like this. But before you push it onto those, you have to plug this in right there. Again, that's a USB-C, and it's going to line up with that little connector down in there a little bit, see? I've got it plugged in, and then you just line it up, and it'll fit on top of those drain lines. You still have access to open this. You will need to be able to open this lid. So you will have to access this once in a while and clean this, but not very often, actually. Now you have to cut this first piece. So you're going to put it in here, and then you're not going to insert it yet. I mean, you could, but then you're going to get kind of a length and then cut this. So grab a connector. This is the sewer tube. It's the bigger one. Grab the check valve. Okay. So this pipe is going to be going into the back of the machine. So what you're going to do is you have to kind of make sure it's sort of a flush cut. Push that in until it bottoms out. Make sure it goes into about here. And you can kind of slightly pull it out, and then you're going to push this in. Ooh, that hurts. Ooh, it's got something on it. Now, push that sleeve in. Like that's going to prevent that from coming out. Now we got to kind of bend this, make sure it's straight, and we're going to poke it in up there. So take this, make sure it's the bigger one right there, and then come up here. And see, you're going to push it in. Make sure it goes in. Like you may want to draw something on there to make sure it's going in all the way. Then kind of just pull out on it a little bit and then put your sleeve on. Now I'm just going to demonstrate. Now again, they don't, you may want to like draw like a little mark right about here, so that when you push these in, it's not like just going in a little bit. You want it to go all the way. Okay, it went in quite a bit. Now, if I ever need to remove that, just hold that gray part in while you're pulling out. and you can reposition the line. So you can see right there. But if I put that collar in, it's never going to come out. This is going to be super important on the water pressure line because it'll have pressure on it all the time. I mean, I could have made that line a little shorter, but you can see the arrows going down. The sewer, the dirty water is going to go down to the drain. Here's the pressurized line. So I'm going to put it in right beside it. And again, line it up, push it in, and make sure it's in all the way. Put the collar on. I did have to use needle nose on that to push it in there, and I got my collar on. Okay, this has an enter, which is going to be from the water supply line. Enter out. So the out is going to go here, which goes to the supply of the robot. So I'm going to push that in, and then this will go to my water supply line. I uncoiled some of the wire, and it's going to plug in right here. Now, you could put this, it comes with this stuff to put around it. I'm not going to use that, but there's my connections. I got to connect the sewer line right here, and then the water line right there. And then I'll plug it gets the power from this plug-in from the robot. So power comes out here. Okay, I've got it hooked up. I turned the water on. Check for leaks. And I also recommend getting I got a Govee water detection sensor. So if this ever does leak, that's going to go off. This could cause a lot of issues if it leaks and it goes undetected. So a water sensor of some sort, like for a basement or something. Okay, base station's on, robot is plugged in or is turned on and docked. I opened the app and I got this is a pop-up that just popped up. I didn't have to go find it. Automatic water supply and drainage. Again, I've got the water on, start testing.
Start self-testing. Please don't move me away from the base station.
Now I did hear water is flowing in, and you're just going to be, you're going to want to be vigilant for water leaks at all times. I can hear water gushing in. This may fail on the first attempt of this test. I have had to do the test a couple times. There could just be air in the line, water in the line, you know. And you got a screen here that says it's testing. Okay, I hear it doing something else now. Almost like it's doing a mop wash. Yeah, like it's putting water down there maybe for the mop pads. And when we're done, we're going to test this out a bunch, make sure it works. And I will be testing this on the X50. I know it works on the Dreamy X40, but I'm going to test it on the Dreamy X50 and Dreamy L50. I've heard some people say it doesn't work, so I want to verify that. Now it's testing the sewer line. All right, it's kind of gurgling a little bit over there, but it says it's still testing. All right, sounds like it's filling it up again. Okay, that worked out good. It said no error found. It's all ready. Now to get to this, under settings, more functions, scroll down, device maintenance, yeah. Automatic water supply and drainage test, automatic water supply and drainage empty. So you may have to empty out that gray thing that we put in, and then you can drain the robot. So, you know, I can do this again. I can start the test, but it already passed, but you may have to do that if it fails. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to go to the dock and I'm going to hit wash.
Start cleaning mop pads.
It should be able to pass this test now that it. And again, just be vigilant of the water. Keep checking those water connections. That can do a lot of damage if it does leak. So I can hear the water going in. And again, you can kind of look at this, but there's that filter. It has gotten wet. You'd want to check these connections too and make sure that's nice and flush. Yeah. So far, looking good. Now, it's kind of quiet during mop washing at first. I think it's filling that gray thing up with water, maybe. Because normally you can hear it washing, and I haven't heard it yet. Yeah, it's kind of a long pause. I think we're up to about 30 seconds. Okay. So there was about a 30-second pause of just nothingness. And now it's the traditional, the mop pads are spinning. You can hear the water. So I do remember that from the X40. When it's washing the mop, it just pauses and it sounds like nothing's happening. Now the dirty water's pump's kicking on, sucking everything out into the sewer pipe. This all sounds normal. These kits are, this is $300 just so you don't have to fill up the clean water tank and dirty water tank. But again, I have used this same kit for over a year and a half now, and it works great. So longevity wise, I mean, it can definitely save you a lot of time. Manual is pretty good. They did have a coupon where it was like $30, $50 off or something. So hardest part's going to be the water connection. Is just so tricky. And I'll put links to everything. And it's also on my website, justadatapproved.com. I'll put links to how to hook up water supply lines to a robot. This will work on the Dreamy X40, Mova P10 Pro. I think it'll work on the Gen 2. I haven't tried it. It's got all the same connections. See, oh, well, it does have a sticker there. So, and it's got this right here. So I don't know if it'll work or not, but I think it will. It does work on the Dreamy L10S Gen 2 Pro Heat. It's these tall base stations. The water tanks pretty much have to be kind of this, look like this. Here's this filter. It does, I haven't cleaned that in over a year. It's not dirty, but you got to have access to it. Again, this has worked for over a year and a half, and I use the heck out of this X40. It's on a schedule, like it cleans all the time. And then the if you want a true robot that hooks up to water lines, the X40, it's a little old robot. It's basically like an X40 over here, but the Master, actually, it comes out of the box ready to hook up to water lines. So, and you can put it, you could put a shelf here. It's really thin profile. You pull this out. There's where you put the solution and filter and dust bag. So this is designed for this. There's the dust bag. This robot is good. It's just old. The obstacle avoidance not the best. It does okay. Looks like they did improve it. This old one came with a really weird fitting on the end. Now they got push, and this was a really weird setup. So now it's just it's got this type of fitting on it on both sides, which is nice. So looks like that was over a year and a half ago that it came with that style. Thankfully it comes with the new style. So this is kind of a quick video. Search that X40. I might have went into a little bit more detail, and there will be some more links in that video. So I've done this twice now. I absolutely love it. Again, a little on the expensive side, $300 just so you don't have to do those, but those, man, I just love not having to do those. That's probably because I have so many robots that I just get tired of constantly emptying the dirty water and filling the clean water tank up. But if it was my only robot, probably wouldn't be that big a deal. But there is an option out there. Again, justadatapproved.com. There's a section for maintenance and tips, the tri-cut brush, all the solution I use now. With this one, the solution you can't put in the clean water tank. So it does have a solution tank. And from what I've heard is the solution tank only washes the mop pad. It doesn't fill the internal robot up with solution. So you may lose that functionality, being able to add a little solution to the clean water tank. So again, thanks everybody. justadatapproved.com. Look for more exciting stuff coming on that website. It's under development right now, and I'm so excited to show you everything on it. It's going to have so much information for you, the consumer, my scorecards, being able to compare different robots. But the main thing is they're just data approved robots, and I'll let you know when they're on sale. So again, if you could, please like, subscribe, and thanks for watching. Let's see if the UPS one can pick up this big spill. bunch of water